Hi there, I'm Scottish Leaf Owner and this is the Tesla Model X. Driving inside the Tesla Model X is a fairly simple affair with one pedal driving and a very quiet cabin with just the tire roar that you could probably hear and the whine of the motors and obviously the indicators when needed. It does 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. And I'm not too sure what the maximum speed is. I know it's probably over 100 miles an hour, but in my driving I stick to the speed limit, so I think the most I got was 72, you know, just trying to optimise my energy efficiency over the 1,000 miles that I've had the car. The regen in this car is not too harsh. It's enough to, once you get used to it, to just time it right so that you've got then the right speed going into a roundabout, a corner, or to the end of a junction. I find that this car is most comfortable at motorway cruising speeds at 70 miles an hour. Because this is a Model X 90D, it's got the dual motors, so it's got the big motor in the back and a small motor at the front, and when you're cruising along at, you know, motorway speeds, for efficiency it uses the small motor. So we noticed that when we were driving that the X was most efficient at that at those speeds. The car is very wide, so we found a few times that when we were driving the car that it's not recommended that you drive on B roads because the car is, as I say, very wide. We had a couple, I wouldn't say near misses, but if there was another X going the other way, it would be a bit of a squeeze just for both cars to get through on a country road. So this is what the car looks like from the inside. Just give you a wee detailed tour. So this is the passenger seat. As you can see, lots of leg room, and still lots of leg room for the people in the back. You can close the door by either through the controls, which we hit controls, hit doors, and then we hit the passenger and it closes the door and you'll hear the thud. Well, we can open it, which it does there. We can then push it so it opens a bit further, and then we can close it by just one touch on the handle there, like so. So these are all the controls. Put it on auto lights. The windscreen wipers aren't rain sensitive yet. That should be coming in a update soon. We can see that we've put 87 miles of range in already. And so these are all the controls. So we've got the seats. We can have heat seats. We can put them forward, back, etc. Access to the back seats. This is a 7-seater. Got suspension, so it's air suspension. Currently it's at low, which is weird. We'll have a look at that. It should be at standard at least. Got driving, so steer mode we just got on standard. Got the creep off because especially when you're stuck in traffic, feature that I don't like in my Leaf is the creep, so I usually tend to stick it in neutral, but instead of doing that, once you stop in the Tesla, so all you need to do is just put your foot on the pedal and off you go. Range mode, we've got that off. If you put it on, what it does is it doesn't put any heating or aircon on. That's quite uncomfortable, especially when the temperatures are 20 plus at the moment in the British summertime. We've got regenerative braking. We got it standard or low. Again, it's kind of similar to your D and B mode in the Leaf. Trip information. So that last stint we did 30 miles, 378, but the way the Tesla sat-nav took us was round country roads, which was mental considering the A1 was right beside us, but you know, we trusted it. Overall we have done 316 miles at 343 watt-hours per mile. I still think optimal in ideal conditions is 320. We then have displays, so just how the controls in the center screen works. We then have the e-brake and power off, but we'll leave that. Then we have settings. So we've got apps, so we've got maps, navigation, which you can access up here. Go back to controls. So we go to settings again. We've got driver profiles. So we've got one for myself and Mr. Scottish Leaf Owner, that's their nickname. Language and units, English, UK, English, in miles, 24-hour time, degrees Celsius, and you can either have distance or energy. You can change it to energy. It tells you that we have 75%, which, you know, in this car means absolutely nothing, so you use distance. When you're supercharging, it tells you the how many miles, kilowatts and miles, etc. But if you change the settings, controls, back to energy, and then go back to the supercharging, it tells you what it is in percentage. So we've got it where it stops at 90%. We need that because we've got the journey back to Edinburgh via East Lothian and then up to the Kingdom of Fife. So there's no superchargers. There's one at the airport, but it's just very fiddly, and there's only 2 superchargers. And with a lot of Teslas being about, it's not really worth it. I can use the CHAdeMO adapter in the boot and use it at my local park and ride if needs be. But to be honest, charge up to 90, it should get us 210 to 220 miles of range, which should be more than enough for us to do what we need to do for the day. Give it a quick charge overnight and then return it to our friends in White Car. So this is steering wheel, standard sports steering wheel. We have the indicator stock with the settings for the windscreen wipers. This is your adaptive cruise control and autopilot here. So you push it once for adaptive cruise control. It tells you the speed up there, and you can set it by moving it up to go up or down to obviously go down. Do it twice, we'll switch on the autopilot. There's a little steering wheel that goes blue when you're driving, and then to cancel both modes, you can either in autopilot you can shake the wheel, or for it to turn off and you'll hear a bong, or either put your foot on the brake or pull this, just tap it forward and it'll switch it off, both adaptive and the autopilot. Here there's only one control on the side, and that's your gear selector. So you got reverse, that you put your foot on the brake, pull it up. Neutral is neutral, obviously. You got drive, so you, again, before you start, foot on the brake, push it down, and then when you parked up, you just hit the park button on the side, like so. What we have noticed is when the car is using the adaptive cruise control, that the actual brake pedal does move down. It's quite weird. I only noticed it by accident when we were going into a traffic jam. My foot was hovering on the brake because, again, we're just getting used to the car, and I felt the brake go down. It's a very weird sensation, but you know, trust technology. Next we have the center console. So we can see here that we have some drinks, cup holders even. You can tell they're for American sizes, like your big gulp from Kmart. There's a packet of chipsticks that Mr. Scottish Leaf Owner had. There's your center thing with 2 USB ports and a 12 volt. Here we have an armrest that converts into a cup holders again. Again, big ones because it's made in America, so you know how the Americans are like. Next is there's 2 cup holders at the back that you can push in and then push out like so. Also, excuse my camera skills, there is a USB, 2 USB ports for charging. So in the back, sorry about the camera hang, so we've got 3 rear seats. Again, what I'll do is I'll move round to the driver's seat to show you what our view's like from the rear mirror. So if you just bear with me a second. Come on, car. It's been a bit temperamental today. So we also have here, sorry I forgot to mention, there is seat controls. So that one moves the seat, you know, back and forward, moves the seat up and down, or sorry, forward and back, and then this bit forward and back, and then this one I think affects the harshness or actually the seat height. I've not played about with that too much. So in the driver's seat, it's not set up to my position, but you can see here, apart from most of the, this is our rear view. The annoying thing is there is the middle seat. You can't put the headrest down. You can in the new X's, so visibility is very limited. Look in the rear view mirror. So not great design, Tesla, but at least you've listened to the customers and it has improved. Lastly, we will have a look at the back seats. As I say, even with the seat I have that fairly far back, passengers should be able to squeeze in. We also have 2 rear seats. Again, we'll move this forward, so there's a little button here. Here is the back seats for children, or if you get the 6-seat configuration where there's no middle seat, you will be able to get adults. Might be cramped, but they can stretch the legs out into the middle part here. So just bear that in mind if you are going for a 6 or 7-seat configuration. I'll go around to this side to show you the legroom. Move our empty bottles out the way. So this is it in the middle. We're here. Not great legroom. I've been in cars that have a lot more, but again, I'm just sort of chilling out in the car, so you know there won't be much room for a middle person unless they're a small person. So there you go. So in conclusion, the Model X is a great car if you can afford it. It's quite pricey for what it is, but if you can afford it, it's a great car. You can take it on long journeys, as you would have seen in our road trip video, and it's very spacious inside, especially with the panorama windows, and obviously you get all the kit such as autopilot, adaptive cruise control, which we enjoyed on our trip, especially the adaptive cruise control, because it basically was no pedal driving. We just let the car do its thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share and subscribe, and check out my other videos on the Scottish Leaf Owner YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Twitter at Scottish Leaf Own. And I'll see you next time on the Scottish Leaf Owner YouTube channel. Bye for now.